All right, so now we got the faceplate on, it's hand tight, and we're gonna show you how to make your pump. So first, we're gonna grab part A of the pump. We always go flat to flat. Another thing we always do is we put lube on the one gasket. Everything goes in and out the flat side. Everything goes in and out this etch side, everything comes in and out. So this, we're gonna drop it in, bullet side first, push it down to about here, and we like to have it right in the middle there. So that way when our pump shaft is going, when we're putting it on, it can just line right up and boom, it's in. So we like to leave that pretty close to the middle. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put together this half of the pump. So we get our gasket here. We don't put any lube on this. Little holes up, bigger hole on the bottom, bigger hole on the bottom. Fit it right there. We should be able to see right through, and we're all set. Next, we're gonna put this piece on. Again, we checked our air hole to make sure we could see daylight, because if we can't get any air through there, we're gonna have a machine breakdown. So it's just like a puzzle. We fit the small hole in the small etch, and the bigger etch in the bigger etch. Right on in, push it. Next, what we'll do is this notch lines up with this notch, and after that, these holes right here line up with these holes. So we match our etch to our etch, our holes to our holes. It doesn't want to go, so we put a little more grease, and boom, just like that, we got our holes lined up. So then we'll come from the top where it says Sunday, and we'll drop our pin in it to hold it. Just like that, it's all held in there. All right, so the pump itself is done. We gotta quick put together the pump shaft. Put a little grease on the outside, and we're actually gonna pack in the interior here with grease. So we got it on the outside gasket, and now we're gonna pack it on the inside only. And again, just run your finger around. It should pack pretty well. Need a little more. Nice and packed, no air holes or anything. We don't like to put grease on these gaskets because it will travel down there for us. All right, now one thing we like to do, since we set up the pump to the middle, we want to put our shaft in the middle. It'll just make it easier for us. So we'll put it right on in, and we'll try to keep it as center as we can. It doesn't want to be perfectly center, so we'll have to move a little. And just like that, we'll do it again with this one. Pack it real quick. Run our finger around. So that's a problem. We got some air holes there, so we'll put some more grease on it. No air holes, we're all set. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in. We're gonna try to keep it as center as possible, and that one was nice, it let us be centered. So next we're gonna put on our pumps. Sunday, up. Now, since this guy's a little off to the left, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my part off to the left a little, so that way it slides right on. And just like that, it's in. Careful of our little gauge here, how full we are. Then what we'll do is we'll just put our lock on. Now we're not gonna push it on, we're gonna just set it there, and it usually falls right on. Now if we set it there and it doesn't fall on, we'll just push it forward until it falls on. That's not a pressure thing, we don't ever wanna push it on. We'll do the same for the other one. Sunday up. So we're a little off here. And now we're all set. We're gonna drop our lock on, and it's all locked in. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our sanitizer. I like to use about 12 quarts, about 6 quarts for each half. The minimum you need is at least 5. but I like to do 6, just a little more. In reading the side here, you need 1 scoop for every 4 quarts or every gallon. So I'm gonna do 3 scoops. And you'll see the line on here, there's a little measuring line. And we got 3 scoops. So then what we'll do is we'll stir it up and we'll show you how to put it on it. We're gonna dump about 6 quarts into each hopper. Then we'll put our bin down here. It likes to fit pretty well. We're gonna turn our power on, and this is where we test and see if we put our pump back together properly. So we're gonna push our pump button here, and water should squirt out after 2 turns. 1, 2, here we go. There it goes, it's spraying out. So let's check this one, and that's also sanitizing all the pieces in there. This one sprays good too, so that's all we need to know. You can run them for a little while, but we're gonna let that sit in there for about 60 seconds. Then we're gonna turn on our beaters, get them spinning, and we're gonna let them run and sit for about 60 seconds. Now with all our dirty parts still here, we're gonna put them in the bottom of the bin, so that way when the sanitizer comes down, it'll soak with them and sanitize those too. Just for a quick tutorial on these, while we can see everything, this question mark goes on this side. Right on in, and then we put our cotter pin there. And this guy, he goes around the temperature sensor, temperature sensor in the hole in the cotter pin again. So that's just for later when the ice cream's in here, you won't really be able to see. There is a difference, and you'll find that out when you can't get it in. So we're gonna let it sit for 60 seconds, and once it sits, we're gonna just drain it all out. We're gonna run it through every hole we have, including our air release holes to get them clean too. Let it sit for 60 seconds, and we'll drain it. So now it's sanitizing this. Now one thing sometimes people like to do is they like to splash some of the sanitizer up on the walls and everything. I used clean rag sanitizer when I did it, so I don't need to this time. But if you feel as though you hit it again when your rag was dirty, you'll definitely want to splash some sanitizer up on the top. So once our water level gets low enough, this one's empty. It's past the straw here for the pump. We're gonna push the pump again to squirt out that last little bit of sanitizer. So now it's completely clean. There's no sanitizer in there for anyone to end up with their ice cream. And now that this one's low enough, we'll push it out of this one too. No more coming out. We're all set. All right, we're out of water here. Turn the beater off. We're almost out of water on this side. We're gonna wait until we're out. All right, we're out of water here. So then what we'll do is we'll move our stuff. We're gonna turn our power off to protect ourselves. And we're gonna loosen and remove the faceplate because you will have some water still back there. So I only made these hand tight so they're not too hard to take off. Putting my hand here for the last bit. I'm gonna take it out, lean it back, and I'm just gonna hold it. I pull this out, get some of that water going. Well, I'm gonna have to sanitize that. Put it back in. Same thing with this, get the water out. And then I'll put the faceplate right back on. All right, so we put our faceplate back on, everything's sanitized. I'm gonna turn the machine on, so we can put some ice cream in it. So our chocolate, we always just want to make sure we shake it, okay, because it likes to sit on the bottom. We shook it on our way out here, so we're going to dump it right in. Now when we dump it in, we don't have anything on, and we're going to hold the lever down because there's always going to be just a little bit of water that the product will chase out. So in a second, we'll see a few drips of water, then we'll see product, and we'll be all set. So yeah, we got our few drips of water, still coming. And it's about to switch to ice cream, and then now it's ice cream product. So we'll stop it, and that's it. We're gonna chase it out on the vanilla side as well, and then we'll show you how to fire it up and go. So we poured the product in. Now we're just gonna hit the beaters real quick. It's just gonna make sure everything's in there. We're not gonna turn it on yet. That's just to make sure our air bubbles stop, because since these machines get pressurized, we want to make sure that there's no air really in there. So the bubbles stopped on this one. So now we're gonna put our question mark in. Right down and in. Then we'll put our cotter pin in and we'll be all set. We're gonna put this one in, right on in, and we'll get our cotter pins nice and sanitized. Drop it right here. Now it's locked in, it can't come out when it's under pressure. Same with this one. Oh, we gotta push this in a little further. There we go. Locked, not coming anywhere, perfect. So now what we'll do is we're gonna just hit snowflake. Now when you hit snowflake, in about 5 minutes, you should have cold, fluffy ice cream. So we're gonna hit it. We're gonna wait 5 minutes. Now, we made sure our product was in date. It's all set. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna wait 5 minutes and get that initial pressure out. So we'll see you in 5. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. One thing we didn't mention in the video, you always take these out, spray them out, put them back in. The long one goes in the middle, and there's one on either side that comes out the side. So we move those and spray those out. So there's 3 total. Do those each time. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. Put our tray here. Now it's very pressurized. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna release the pressure. Comes out good. We're gonna do our air. A little bit will come out, maybe. We'll lift our other air, and we're all set. Test the middle. See, we had some spray. We always do that real quick to make sure it doesn't go on the customer. So that's the end of the video, guys. Good job. Just remember, at night, when you're at night, we push the hold button at night. Other than that, you're all set. I hope the video helped. All right, so we put our red caps back on. Ice cream's good. We always want to make sure we have vanilla on the right and chocolate on the left, because both the beaters spin like this. So after hours and hours and hours of it spinning, sometimes it may leach over under that high pressure, and you can't see vanilla and chocolate, but you can see chocolate and vanilla turn a little bit orange. So we always put vanilla on the right, chocolate on the left, and I would hope you guys enjoy.